Hello and welcome to the Lorna Fitness Podcast, the show where we talk all things fitness, health, mindset and lifestyle to help you become fitter, healthier and happier. I help busy people who lack time, motivation and self-belief to look and feel great again. If you want to work with me, head over to lornamarifitness.co.uk, but for now, enjoy this episode.
If you've ever been away on holiday and thought, what do I do about my exercise and my food, and ever wanted to come back feeling refreshed and feeling in a good place and not like you've taken about 5 steps back with your health and fitness or put on about 5 pounds, then listen to this. These are my top tips and some things I actually do myself just to kind of cruise when I go away. So me personally, I am not on a fat loss journey. I'm not on a weight loss journey. I just want to maintain my health and fitness. So personally, when I go away, I do these cruise weeks, but they can be dead useful if you are somebody who is on a fat loss journey and you want to go away on holiday and just enjoy yourself to the fullest, but at the same time without overindulging. So listen up. Here are my top tips. I'm going to talk to you about keeping active while you're away, about food choices, about alcohol choices, if you do drink, and how you can come back and just feel good in yourself and also feel like you're in control of the decisions that you're making when you go away. And also, one big thing is what to do when you get back, because we all know it's about what you do on a consistent basis. 1 week, 2 weeks out of the year, it's not going to make much difference. But the problem is when we go away, we feel like we've put weight on, we feel sluggish, we're completely out of routine with our health and fitness. And then we don't draw the line and we just carry on to the point where you sort of think, I need to do something different, or I'll start next Monday or the next Monday. Or do you know what, after the school holidays, then I'll get back into it. Or after a certain point, or in January or in September, whenever you decide that you'll get back on it and promise yourself that you'll get back on it then, and then not actually do it or follow through. This is where the problems occur. That's where they lie. So my number one top tip is whenever you do get back, just draw a line and just get back to routine. Don't think about trying to undo anything that you've done or try and restrict anything or cancel out any food groups. Just get back to normal, healthy routine. But anyway, let's come back to that in a bit. Let's talk about your food when you go away. So if you are somebody who is on a weight loss journey and you are in a calorie deficit, so you are taking in less calories than you're expending, then you're going to want to mind your food when you go away, because things are cooked differently. Maybe they're done lots of oil, maybe they're fried, maybe the portion sizes are larger than you're used to, and you're not as in control of your food when you're away as when you obviously make your own meals at home or choose your own meals at home. So these are my top tips. Base every meal around a protein source. So that is at breakfast, maybe you go for the eggs or the Greek yogurt, whatever it might be, some lean protein. Same at lunch and same at dinner. This will keep you feeling fuller for longer, and it will also help preserve your muscle mass the best possible. So muscle needs feeding protein. So if you feed it the protein, you're going to help to maintain that lean muscle mass. And that will help you to keep your shape, but also to keep your metabolism, because your metabolism is linked directly to the amount of lean muscle mass you have. In terms of how much you'd actually lose, like muscle mass you'd lose, really you only start to see drops in your fitness and the amount of muscle mass you have really after about getting on for 2 weeks and beyond if you're not doing anything. So if you're away for a week, chances are if you do decide to rest and that's the best thing for you, then chances are you really won't see a difference in your fitness levels or your muscle mass when you get back. So I just want you to know that first and foremost. So basing each meal around a protein source is really important. Then secondly, I'd be looking at nourishing your body. So what does your body need? Well, you need protein, you need fibrous carbohydrates, you need fruits and vegetables, vitamins and minerals. So next up, think about filling your plate with veggies or salads. Of course, when you go away, depending on where you are, just be careful if your salad's been washed in certain waters that maybe we're not used to. But anyway, trying to fill your plate with fruits, veggies, salads, so getting that goodness into your body. And then fibrous carbohydrates. So you're thinking more here like your whole grains. That's what I would do at each meal. If you are going out for a big indulgent meal in the evening, which I don't know about you, but quite often when we go away, depending on the holiday, not a lot of the holiday, but a lot of the food experience, if you like, is based around an evening meal out. So everyone will get nicely dressed up and we'll go for a nice meal somewhere. And it is all about the experience. It's not just about the food itself, but it's about the setting, the restaurant, where you are, the service, the company, the sharing laughs and just nice times over a nice meal. Now, if you are going to be going out for a big meal in the evening, number one, do not starve yourself or skip meals because you're going out for a big meal. You need to be giving the body some nourishment. Treat your body as you would a friend. But what you can do is if you don't want to get to that meal and think, oh my gosh, I'm absolutely stuffed because I had a huge lunch and a huge breakfast and now I'm not going to be able to enjoy my evening meal as much. Of course, yeah, we don't want that either. What you want to do is just maybe have a lighter lunch and a breakfast and lunch that is really high in protein. And again, filling your plate with fruits and veggies and salad and just giving your body some nourishment. And making sure that also when you get to that meal in the evening that you're not absolutely starving, so you don't go absolutely overboard and then equally not enjoy it because then you feel like you've eaten too much. Think about the law of diminishing returns here. So if you have an evening meal and you're eating it, just pretend here. So I don't know what you'd be having. Let's just say you're having a big paella or a pizza. You've gone to Italy and you're having some Italian pizza. Like the first few slices, you'll really get a lot of enjoyment from. Or the first few bites or spoonfuls of paella you'll really enjoy. Or maybe you've gone for chicken and chips. The first few bites you really enjoy. And you'll keep enjoying it and keep enjoying it as you're eating, getting less, just a little bit less enjoyment with each bite. To a point where you're starting to feel satisfied. And then to a point where you're starting to get full. And we all know if we keep eating and eating and eating and eating and are just that one more bite, the bite that you probably didn't really need and the bite that just tips you over the edge to think, actually, now I feel so full and I feel really uncomfortable and I need to undo the top button on my jeans. That is where it becomes a bit of a disbenefit. So the law of diminishing returns says the more of something brings more benefit, or in this case, more enjoyment, up until a point. Then you don't get any more enjoyment from another bite. And then that tipping point where you have another bite and it actually becomes a disbenefit and you don't enjoy it and you don't get any extra benefit from it. You get a disbenefit from it. So that's one thing to bear in mind. So when you go for your meals or you have your indulgent meals, absolutely enjoy them 100%. You know, that is part of the experience of going out for dinner, just having a meal that you enjoy. But be mindful when you're eating. Taste the food, smell the food, think about where it's come from, and chew the food as well. Actually slow down and stop when you feel satisfied. We don't need to stuff ourselves just because it's there. So, of course, if you're still hungry, obviously keep eating. But equally, it's about being in tune with your body and listening to your body and stopping when you are full. Another thing that you can do, and this is whether maybe you're on a weight loss journey or even just if you're trying to maintain your health and fitness and you don't want to go too overboard, you could have one indulgent meal or one indulgent thing per day. So rather than, say, going and having, I don't know, I'm thinking of chicken and chips now. So if you have the chicken and chips at lunchtime and then you go out in the evening and you have the burger and the fries and then you have the ice cream, by the end of the day, you're probably going to feel a bit rubbish. Whereas if you just had one of those, so you'd had the chicken and chips or the pizza or whatever it might be, whatever your thing is at lunchtime, but then in the evening you had a bit of a lighter meal, a bit more of a nourishing meal, nutrient dense meal, you probably get to the end of the day and you won't really, you'll feel fine. So it's about that accumulation as well, and thinking about enjoying it. So if you do have that one indulgent thing per day, you probably enjoy it more anyway, as opposed to having a massive breakfast and then a really indulgent lunch and then a really non-nutrient dense dinner. You probably just feel a bit rubbish, and we don't want to feel rubbish. So they're kind of my top tips with the food side of things. I hope that's been useful. And also know that you are out of routine, and that is okay as well. And own your choices and actually enjoy what you choose. One of the last things you want to be doing when you go away on holiday is tracking every single morsel of food and feeling guilty for what you're eating. Just enjoy it and just be mindful about fueling your body and giving your body what it needs to. I think that's really, really important. And it goes without saying as well, stay hydrated. So whether you're going out sightseeing for the day or out on an adventure or you're lying on a sunbed in the sunshine, just make sure that you stay really hydrated. Having a bottle of water by the side of you all the time, taking it with you everywhere you go, just keep sipping throughout the day is really, really important. So make sure you do that. Just fill it up in the morning. Make sure you fill it up several times, particularly if it is really hot and you are getting sweaty, or if you're on more of an adventure holiday and you're moving around or you're exercising a lot, you're going to need a lot of water. So just think about what you're putting into your body as well. Make sure that you are having enough water and you're staying hydrated. And that's going to stop you from getting headaches too, which is always a plus. No one wants a massive headache on holiday. And while we're on the topic of hydration, let's talk about alcohol here. So it might not be relevant for everyone, but if you enjoy going away on holiday and having a few cocktails or the wine or whatever it might be for you, here are a few tips. Like, of course, if that's your thing, absolutely do it, have it. Just think about, again, staying hydrated. So when you do order your alcohol, make sure you order some water as well for the table. Make sure that you stay hydrated the rest of the time, the rest of the day. And maybe you can say if you have a drink and then the next drink you have a soft drink, break it up a little bit. That's something you can do. And if you are on a weight loss journey, or maybe you're someone who's trying to be mindful, you want a few drinks and you're just trying to be mindful about the energy content in them, there are a few little hacks. So you can go for drinks like gin and tonic or gin and slimline. You can go for things like Prosecco or the white wine, the dry white wine. Things like that tend to be lower in calories than, say, the big cocktails or the big fruity cocktails or the big creamy cocktails. So just bear that in mind when you're choosing your drinks as well. Of course, again, having a bit of what you enjoy, but know that if you are going to have, say, 5 cocktails versus 5 gin and slimlines or 5, Proseccos, the difference starts to build up. So just being mindful of that too. But again, ultimately, it's completely your choice. Or you can go for things like spirit and a diet mixer. They tend to be really quite low in calories if that's what your aim is, if that's what you're trying to be mindful of too. On that note, if you are somebody who doesn't want to drink and you're on holiday with people who really do, or maybe they have more than you and you don't want any more, you just don't want to drink, just own that decision. And if anyone does have a problem with that, that says a lot more about them than it does about you. So just be really strong in your decision and say it with conviction. Like, no, I don't want any more, or no, I don't want to. And no questions asked. Usually if you say something with strong conviction, no one is going to say anything. But if you're like, then people will try and persuade you if they're doing it too. So it's about owning your decision, whichever way you want to do that, whatever is right for you and however you want to enjoy your holiday. Because ultimately we work hard for our holidays, right? And it's just that little bit of time out of routine, completely out of routine, doing something different. And you want to enjoy your holiday your way. It is your holiday. You've worked hard for it. Now let's move on to the exercise side of things. Not everyone wants to exercise when they go away on holiday, but for some people, and particularly people who are very active in general, well, actually, it can swing either way. But usually, if you're an active person in general, you'll want to do something because it makes you feel good. And I definitely come from that camp. I am a very active person, like by trade, if you like. And I do like to take my foot off the gas, so to speak, when I go away on holiday. I like to have a bit more of a rest, but I like to keep active to a point. Otherwise, I end up just feeling really fatigued, like I have no energy, really sluggish, and I don't actually enjoy the holiday as much as I would have done had I been more active. So these are the kind of things that I do, and the kind of things that I would recommend as well. Because I do think that if you are at least a bit active, or at least you're going on walks, or you're sightseeing, or you're walking down the beach in the morning, there's something about it. You do just feel so much better in yourself. And I'm not saying that you need to do a class every day, and I'm not saying that you need to walk for miles and miles every day, or run or swim loads of lengths. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, if you want to do that, fair enough. I'm just saying that keeping active to an extent just makes you feel better in yourself and makes you enjoy your holiday more. So with the online squad, you can actually take us anywhere. So you could even join in the live classes. You could do the live classes wherever you are in the world. You could do live replay wherever you are in the world. You can do on demand and just do a short workout, or do whatever you want wherever you are in the world. Where I tend to work out when I go on holiday, so I do online workouts. I tend to work out in the hotel room first thing in the morning before we go out for the day. Or I will, if there's a hotel gym, I will go there, and quite often I just take my online workout there and find a corner or something like that. I normally, if I go away for a week, I would say that I normally do like 4 days working out, whereas I'd normally be teaching classes and doing my own training to support my classes. When I go away, I would say that I probably do 4 20-minute workouts. So I'm keeping active, I'm doing something, but for me, that's a lot more restful than what I am used to. I also use it as an opportunity to try different things, to try different online workouts, or say if I go somewhere where they do classes, go and try different classes. I love doing that, and as an instructor, it's really fun to go along and you learn things from other instructors and just kind of relax and be a participant as well. Not that I don't relax in my own classes, but it's fun going to other classes. If there's an aqua aerobics on, just going along and joining in with that, or if the gym have some sort of itinerary and you can go along and do yoga on the beach or whatever it might be, that can always be quite fun. But generally speaking, I do online workouts, and I'd just do them in the hotel room before we go out for the day. Usually when Will's still in bed, actually. I will just put my headphones on and I will do a workout and just do it to make me feel good. And then me and Will usually try and walk around and get some steps in. And I would say that is one of the best ways to keep active on holiday. And if you are going away doing some sightseeing, you'll probably find that you really do rack the steps up. Or if you're going on an adventure holiday, or maybe you even going skiing, and that's really super active anyway. Or maybe you're doing some walks when you're on holiday, or maybe if you're on a all-inclusive style sunbathing holiday, it might be a case that you get up in the morning and before it gets too hot, you go on a walk for an hour, and then you'll feel so much more refreshed. And that's actually what we did on our most recent holiday. So we went to Tenerife and we did an all-inclusive, and that is what we did. So every day we got up, and before it got too hot, we went on a walk, took some water with us, and we walked to one of the local towns and back again. And it was about an hour. But when I go away personally, I always try and keep to about 8,000 as a minimum steps per day. So on average, and this is regardless of whether you're on holiday or not, you are deemed active, as in it's beneficial for your long-term health if you do over 7,500 steps per day on average. So obviously, like generally, if you have, say, a desk job, you'd want to be pulling your average up by doing longer walks at the weekend, or taking lunchtime walks, or walking in the morning, or when you get back, for example. So when I go away on holiday, I try and stick to a minimum of about... That's my dishwasher. If you're wondering what that weird noise is. But when I go away on holiday, I try and aim for about 8,000 steps per day as a minimum. That is what I'll get to. Like usually I beat that anyway. It depends on what we're doing to what that number would actually be, but that's my non-negotiable, if you like. So that's what I do in terms of activity, but there's other things you can do as well. If you enjoy swimming, just going and swimming, doing a few lengths, join the aqua aerobics, take your iPad or your phone to the beach, do a yoga or Pilates on the beach, or get involved in some activities. Maybe go kayaking or canoeing or some water sport activities, horse riding, hiking, whatever you want to do. There's the dishwasher again. Please tell me if this is a normal thing for a dishwasher to do. I don't really get it. But that's generally what I would suggest in terms of your activity. And it depends on what your goals are as well. Like, are you going away on holiday to have more of a cruise week and just maintain your current level of fitness? Or are you going away on holiday to actually get fitter? Or are you going on holiday to actually completely and utterly relax and have a week off from doing absolutely anything? Because there really is no right or wrong. When I go away, I just make a conscious effort to do something to, first and foremost, make myself feel better. But secondly, just maintain my fitness level. That would be just doing something little and just doing it a few times. Maybe even if there's some weights, you could go and do a stronger class or whatever you want to do. Maybe take a booty band in your bag and do a booty band class. Go on the bolt-on area and do a short booty band class. And it's just insane how much better it makes you feel just by doing that. And all squaddies, you need to go on the social media accountability area and use those posts, because we want to know where you are in the world, and tag us so we can see you doing your workouts. It is genuinely really fun doing it, and you will just feel loads better. So I feel like I've covered a lot there, and ultimately it depends on what you enjoy doing, and it also depends on what your goals are. So if your goals are to at least maintain your current level of fitness, you probably want to think about doing some activity. Or if you're super active, you're having a week off and you think, actually, do you know what, all I want to do is just kind of maybe some gentle walking, then also know that that's absolutely fine. It is completely up to you what you want to do. Now, one big question I get asked is, what do I do when I get back? What should I do when I get back? Because what a lot of people do is they get back and they jump on the scale just to see, I don't like this term, but what the damage is. Do not do that. Never come back from holiday and jump straight on the scale. Why? Because you've been eating food that's different to normal. Maybe it's a bit richer than normal. Maybe it's a bit saltier than normal. Your digestion is probably going to be out, and you were probably dehydrated from your journey on the way home. So you need to leave about 5 to 7 days before you even think about stepping on the scale. It is not going to give you an accurate number. And if you do that, and then it changes the way you feel about yourself and the way you feel about your holiday and the memories you've made, is it really worth it anyway? So you need to leave it at least 5 to 7 days if that's how you want to do it. If you want to weigh yourself, that is. Do not hop on the scale straight away. And if you have gone away and you feel like you haven't really done the exercise, and you feel like maybe you've taken a few steps back with your fitness, and you're starting to panic about the fact that you've not done any classes and the fact that you've eaten more indulgent foods than you normally would, and you're completely out of routine, draw a line. The only time you should be thinking about your holiday is when you're looking back and thinking about all the happy, nice memories you made. Draw a line. Just get back to routine. You do not need to think about undoing anything or exercising to compensate for what you've done or restricting any foods or going on a crazy diet. Absolutely not. Draw a line, just move back on with your normal routine. Plan your classes in your journal for the week ahead as normal, just your usual kind of amount of classes. We always recommend a minimum of 3, so your non-negotiable of 3 workouts, and then more if you wish, having minimum 1 to 2 rest days per week, depending on what you're used to and how much time you've got and everything. So exercise, get back to it, get a good variety, and you might even want to ease yourself back in so you don't lose like I said at the beginning, you don't lose loads of fitness by going away on holiday, but you might feel a bit out of routine. You might feel a little bit dehydrated. Your digestion might be a little bit sluggish. So ease back in. You don't have to go back in and lift super heavy. You don't have to go back in and think, right, okay, I need to do all the burpees and all the jumping jacks and all the high knees and everything. Just ease yourself in and see how your body feels. And know that the first couple of workouts when you get back from holiday might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but then you soon get back in. And the longer you leave it to get back to your normal routine, the harder it's going to be. Just come back and get on with it. Just do it. Get back into routine as soon as possible, like straight away. And with your food as well, again, you're not trying to undo anything. You're not trying to overcompensate for anything. Just get back to nourishing your body and also having a little bit of what you want too. Nothing is restricted. Just make sure that you are giving your body what it needs 70% of the time. So you're nourishing your body 70% of the time, 30% a little bit of what you want to. So they're my top tips for when you go away on holiday, no matter what holiday you go on. And I hope that's been really useful. And what we've actually done for our squaddies is we've got a whole holiday area where we have a holiday guide. It also includes things like when you go on flights and when you're going on long haul flights and what to do in the airport, and also some workouts that you can take with you, some written ones and then some where you don't have Wi-Fi. But of course, like if you do have Wi-Fi, you can, you're just part of the squad wherever you are in the world. If you have Wi-Fi, it's not even a thing. But if you don't have Wi-Fi, we've also got you covered as well. So if you are listening to this and you are not a squaddie and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this girl is chatting so much sense, this sounds absolutely amazing, want to join the squad, then please head to lornamariefitness.co.uk, get in touch, and then we would love to have a little chat and see if we are the right fit for you. Anyway, happy holidays, and remember, most importantly, holidays are for making wonderful memories, and just enjoy them. You work hard for them. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope it's been really useful.